I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it.
So this is something at the end of production that there's some reuse animation, but a lot of it was just a lot of animators had some time and said, well, what's your favorite character, and do you want to make him dance? And you have 7 seconds of dance time, and so these guys really worked extra hard, did these little great dance numbers with the characters, which kind of helps you through the titles. The titles on animated film can be exhausting because there's so many people deserving of credit and so many people working on it. It's an amazing process, and as Eric said, that's why we have 2 directors. We could each work on with separate teams, but Eric and I could always get together and with Murray and kind of know the film we wanted to make, so it was easy for us to split up and divide and conquer in that way.
And it sort of worked that way with producers as well. Murray would often be in one location, and the co-producer, Teresa Chang, would be up at the production facility in Northern California, managing the production and all the folks and the schedules that were necessary. We did it in 2 locations. We have a DreamWorks campus in Glendale, California, and then one in Redwood City, California, about an hour plane ride apart. And a lot of high-end technology and video conferencing systems that allowed us to bridge that gap a little bit. And so often Tom and I would find ourselves in different locations, or Aunt Teresa would be.
Which was probably in a total of like a 4-year process, 4.5-year process of working on this film. The last third of it is actually in production with all the animators. And all these people come aboard and help create this thing. So it takes a long time to do one of these things. But when you see it all done, and the work everyone else has done, it's really fantastic to see. So every one of these names that you're seeing is actually someone who contributed a great deal of time and creative energy on the film, so that's a lot of them.
And any one of them, is a tremendous artist in their own right who could go out and do beautiful work without Tom and myself telling them what to do. Our job really is what the name says. It's just direct people all in the same direction so that everybody's telling the same story. We're sort of caretakers of the story in that sense, to make sure that all this great creative work is servicing that main idea. Because ultimately it doesn't matter how many polygons you have or how many people are in the crowd or how beautiful the images are if you don't have a story behind it all that people care about, and characters that people love and care about what's going to happen to them next. We get to feature some of the great score work that Hans Zimmer and his team did here in these credits too, so it was great to be able to bring some of that music back in.
This is a great piece of music, and a lot of it underscores the film, but it's nice to hear it just clean like this.
This is when they were escaping from the zoo. Hans was trying to do New York sounding material, looking at Gershwin and trying to do his own version. Then finally he said, what am I doing? Anything I do will just be a cheap imitation of Gershwin. I'm going to come up with my own sound for New York City. And when he played this for us, it just gave us chills. We thought it was a great piece, a great way to underscore quite literally what they're doing when they're escaping in the streets of Manhattan. There's a montage of Penguin's music coming up soon. That was fun to work with too, to find that tone, that sort of, these guys are sort of this black and white mentality, the sort of 50s sensibility, and to find music that kind of helped sell that.
Originally we had crime jazz, which had a lot of bongos in it, so they latched onto that kind of retro detective music and added their own bit to it. A lot of people doing a lot of things. Here's some more. that it's, you do these things on computers, but there's so much support for that, and these guys don't get, they invent ways to do new things and make it so the art of computer animation can just keep expanding.
Yeah, I mean, much of the software we use is all written in-house and maintained by computer artists and programmers in-house, which makes it possible for us to do things that, frankly, would be impossible if we had to depend upon off-the-shelf software. So a lot of those names you see are helping us achieve those sorts of things, are helping us departments communicate with one another. It's all about the pipeline in something like this, and the last thing you want is to have teams of people sitting waiting for inventory to work on, and so it's a monumental task to keep that flowing, and a lot of these people help with that as well. Final little goodbye from Gloria. Well, it's been a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it.